afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Monday. Hope you all had a good weekend.
How was yours?
Good. We went up north.
Yeah, you were up in Crandon.
Crandon, Drylanders.
Way up north.
The trees are starting to turn,
yeah.
but it's very cool and misty. But other than that,
just starting?
Just starting, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
plenty of time to go. How about you?
Yeah, I had a good weekend. Kind of quiet, but watched a lot of football.
Some good, some bad.
Good. Nearly had a heart attack at that Packer game last night, but it all worked out.
It all worked out in the
end.
All right. We'll get to the news now. Topping our news, a Ripon hospital unveils the state's first mental health stabilization unit. We'll tell you what it is and how it helps patients.
The January 6th committee wants to talk to Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos about a phone call from Donald Trump. We'll tell you if he's complying.
And mandatory evacuations are already underway in parts of the Tampa Bay area ahead of the arrival of Hurricane Ian. We'll have the latest on the storm as it heads towards Florida. On the other hand, just a little windy here. Cool, kind of October weather.
Feels like fall, yeah.
The trees are starting to turn here a little bit as well. The weather words, a few frosty nights. Julian's in the backyard. No killing freeze at this point.
Well, hopefully not for us just yet, but we are looking for a few nights to be bringing in some frost advisories for us, because as of right now, just north of the Dells, we are looking for areas in central and northern Wisconsin that already have a frost advisory in effect until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. So it looks like things are already going to be on the chillier side. Now, as we take a look outside for us here in Madison, cloud cover has been very stagnant throughout the course of the day, and temperatures themselves only into the upper 50s, just near 60 degrees for us, 10 degrees well below normal around this time of year. So that just goes to show you it's really fall for us. Now, taking a look ahead, temperatures will start to fall throughout the rest of this evening. We're going to see those 50s really hold firm into tonight as cloud cover will finally start to clear out. And on top of it, winds are around the breezy side into 10 to 15 miles per hour for many areas, but we are going to start to see those fall as well as we get into the later part of this evening. Temperatures themselves, mid to lower 60s, upper 50s. Not a lot on our radar except for areas near Fond du Lac. They're looking at a couple of pop-up showers. Now, as we take a look at what we're seeing for our traffic, however, well, things are pretty smooth along the Beltline as of right now. No slow spots as we're getting into our 4 p.m. commute. However, for the interstates, it's also the same story. We'll take a look at what else to expect with this week coming up in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. First of its kind treatment center is close to opening in Wisconsin. It's a bit of a drive to get there from our part of the state, though.
SSM Health's Day Stabilization Unit will be based at its hospital in Fond du Lac County. Our Tahalil Moeddin got a tour of that unit in Ripon today. Tahalil?
SSM leadership expects the center to help people in crisis who don't qualify for inpatient care but need immediate support. SSM renovated an OB/GYN wing in the Ripon Hospital to build out the space. Once they have it fully staffed, the day stabilization unit will be open 24/7. They'll provide a mental health assessment and brief therapy. 8 patients at a time between the ages of 16 to 60 will share the space. Now, they can't stay any longer than 23 hours by law, but healthcare providers expect those valuable hours to make a big impact.
The really great part of this is we have our staff who are able to follow up, make those connections, and provide that support with group therapy, so they're able to come back until they're able to establish with an outpatient therapist or maybe our partial hospitalization program or one of those other options that often can take time to get into those programs.
Patients for the new program will be referred through the emergency department and primary care physicians at SSM, and outpatient services for mental health or substance concerns often have wait lists 6 months or longer. Tonight at 5, we'll find out why SSM targeted Ripon in particular and how state funding helped get this off the ground.
Tahalil, thank you. A man who Madison police say was traveling with a teen who was reported missing last week is now in custody. 36-year-old Paul Williams was arrested Friday on Madison's south side. Police say Williams was traveling with 17-year-old Lanaya Hampton when she was reported missing on Thursday. An Amber Alert was issued for Hampton, and she was later found safe. Williams faces charges stemming from outstanding warrants and some new charges after controlled substances were allegedly found during his arrest.
Two men are pursuing lighter punishments after they were both recently sentenced for their roles in the shooting death that killed 11-year-old Anissa Scott back in August of 2020. Both 18-year-old Andre Brown and 21-year-old Perrin Carrion were sentenced earlier this month for their role in Scott's death. According to online court filings from both defendants, they filed notices of intent to pursue post-conviction relief.
Madison police arrested a teenager yesterday after a chase who they say had a loaded, stolen gun. Officers were sent to the 5700 block of Raymond Road around 6:10 p.m. after a caller reported that a man was chasing another man with a gun. Police located a group of people, and upon seeing the officers, some of the people ran away. Two officers chased after a person who was later identified as a 15-year-old. The chase ended after the teen tried to hop a fence and failed. During the arrest, officers allegedly found a loaded .40 caliber gun on the teenager. The gun had been reported stolen.
The committee investigating the January 6th riots wants to talk with Wisconsin Assembly Speaker Robin Vos.
They issued a subpoena for the speaker to sit down for an interview this morning, but Vos was able to postpone his deposition.
Our political reporter Will Keneally has more on what the committee was looking for. Will?
So this stems from a call that took place earlier this year between Vos and former President Donald Trump. In that call, the former president urged Vos to do more to decertify the 2020 presidential election results in Wisconsin, something that the speaker has repeatedly said is not possible. Vos said he got the subpoena on Saturday and was expected to appear before the committee this morning, but after he filed a lawsuit this weekend, he was able to get that deposition delayed. In a statement today, Vos says that he should be free from the subpoena because he was acting in his official duty. He says in the statement, quote, "In light of the clear political nature of this request, we intended to go to court to fight for the immunity given to state leaders under these circumstances." So as it stands right now, the subpoena is still active, just that the interview has been postponed.
Will, thank you. Democratic U.S. Senate candidate Mandela Barnes met with voters today at a diner in Monona. Barnes criticized Ron Johnson's record on Social Security and Medicare. In August, the Republican senator proposed moving the two programs out of automatic entitlement spending and instead moving them into the discretionary budget.
We're talking about the retirement savings that is a lifeline for people, and to put it on the chopping block, to put it in jeopardy, to put it, up to, whatever the politics of the day are, Ron Johnson could not be concerned about the lives of our retired community.
For his part, Senator Johnson says he does not want to eliminate Social Security and Medicare. He says his proposal reflects out-of-control government spending. Barnes says he wants to do things like block the privatization of Social Security and lower the age of eligibility for Medicare.
With less than 45 days to go until the November midterms, the balance of power in Congress is hanging, well, in the balance. Experts predict Republicans will gain seats in the House of Representatives, though not nearly as many as expected, with abortion rights now on the minds of many voters. Democrats have seized on the issue as they fight to hold on to their slim margin. The latest CBS News Battleground tracking poll shows Republicans poised to win the House, but since July, the number of seats they're expected to win continues to shrink.
The Republicans are still in strong position to take control of the House. And the biggest reason for that is the economy.
In recent weeks, President Biden and former President Trump have faced off on political stages in an effort to drive turnout. In an election where voters from both parties feel their rights and freedoms and their financial well-beings are at stake, by the end of this week, early in-person voting will have begun in at least 6 states, including South Dakota, Wyoming, Illinois, and Michigan. Forecasters are keeping a close eye on Hurricane Ian.
The storm could strike Florida as a Category 4 storm later this week.
And right now, it looks like most of the state's Gulf Coast will be impacted. Christian Benavides is in St. Petersburg.
Hurricane Ian previewed its power as it passed near the Cayman Islands. The storm's expected to pass over the western tip of Cuba and then grow into a major hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico, with Florida in its path. Mandatory evacuations are already underway in some of the low-lying areas surrounding Tampa Bay.
This could be the storm that we've hoped would never come to to our shores.
Officials have asked others in the area to voluntarily evacuate, knowing it could take some time to move hundreds of thousands of people out of Hurricane Ian's path.
For all practical purposes, get out right now. Okay, everybody needs to go.
The National Hurricane Center predicts Ian could bring life-threatening storm surge of up to 10 feet in and around the Tampa Bay area. That's due to the storm's track and the high tide when it is set to arrive.
This is like a wall of water coming in, and it will come in very rapidly, very powerfully. This could push houses off of their foundation.
Florida officials have been urging all residents to stock up on essentials. At this grocery store in Fort Myers, cases of bottled water disappeared in seconds. The state is facing a storm about 500 miles wide.
You're going to have really significant winds. It's going to knock over trees. It's going to cause interruptions, and so that's just the name of the game.
Heavy rain will be a factor too, all of it expected to lead to power outages. Hurricane hunters with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are over the eye of the storm, gathering data. Southern Florida and the Keys may start seeing tropical storm force winds as soon as tonight. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, St. Petersburg, Florida.
The Middleton Cross Plains School District cut a ribbon on some newly remodeled spaces today thanks to a citywide referendum. Part of the building houses the Cardinal Academy, a transitional program for students ages 18 to 21. Building renovations included new playground cubbies, restroom adaptations, and some newer resilient flooring. Opposite entrances were also added to the building in order to provide each group with their own independent spaces. Another part of the building is an early learning center for early childhood and 4K.
And it's a beautiful space to learn through play, because play is child's work. And there they get to practice conflict resolution. They get to have academics brought together. Or obviously, we're not expecting mastered academics, but to introduce to the reading and hopefully introduce the love of reading to keep them growing through into their adulthood.
In the past, the school district had 4K at community sites. This is the district's first year having a school-based early learning center.
Well, still to come at 4, can inflation affect our happiness?
And what can we all do about it? Our happiness expert, UW-Madison professor Dr. Christine Whelan has some advice when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
This fall into savings with an affordable, delectable dining set. Whether you're craving farmhouse, rustic, contemporary, cottage, and more. I've got dining and counter heights, storage benches, and tons of configurations.
Get Boss discount!
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Energy is everywhere, even in a little seedling, which, when turned into fuel, can help power a plane. At Chevron's El Segundo refinery, we're looking to turn plant-based oil into renewable gasoline, jet, and diesel fuels. Our planet offers countless sources of energy, but it's only human to find the ones that could power a better future.
The house before you, over 30 years old, still has its original window. It's bone chilling.
There's no need to be afraid of old windows. Just call Feldco for 50% off.
It's the biggest sale of the season. 50% off Feldco windows, plus no interest until 2024.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Check out my Playscape two-piece sectional. The $12.99 price tag makes it great. The 2 colors and 5 decorative pillows makes it greater. The comfy pop-up sleeper with Bobapedic memory foam makes it greater.
Get Boss discount.
Greater.
Welcome back. Canada is getting rid of the pandemic-related border restrictions that have been in place for 2.5 years.
Today, Canadian officials said they are removing all COVID-19 travel restrictions starting October 1st. That includes testing, quarantine, and isolation requirements for people entering Canada. Travelers will no longer be required to undergo health checks or to wear masks on planes or trains. Similar changes will also apply to cruise line passengers. Crews will no longer be subject to vaccine requirements or testing before boarding.
Well, Brett Favre could be in legal hot water. According to new court filings, the Hall of Fame quarterback repeatedly pressed then Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant for money to build a volleyball facility at the University of Southern Mississippi. The filings say the demands came even after Favre was told the misuse of state funds could be illegal. The issue emerged from an investigation into improperly spent public welfare funds within the state's Department of Human Services.
Edward Snowden has lived in Russia since 2013, and now he can officially call it his home. The former NSA contractor has been granted Russian citizenship. An official decree on the issue was published on the Kremlin's government portal today. Snowden previously admitted to leaking information about U.S. surveillance programs to the media. He's facing up to 30 years in prison in the U.S. for espionage charges.
Amazon is getting a big jump on the holiday shopping season. The company is rolling out what it's calling its Prime Early Access Sale, which will be similar to its annual Prime Day sale. Amazon says it'll offer deals on hundreds of thousands of items to Prime members. The sale is set for October 11th and 12th. For shoppers in 15 countries around the world. Other retailers also getting a jump start on the holidays. Walmart announced last week that it'll start its holiday sales as early as next month. And Target said its deal days will be held October 6th through the 8th.
Target is looking to hire up to 100,000 people to help out during the holiday shopping season. The company will also have a Deal Days event on October 6th through the 8th that will feature a lot of deals. Other retailers, as Mark just said, are also getting a jump start. Walmart, all of them. Amazon, all the big box
Get started early.
Yeah.
Shop
the
early.
holidays are almost here. Have you seen the stores? You can tell.
The Halloween stuff's pushed to the back. Well, stocks had yet another losing session as investors fear another rise in interest rates. The Dow Industrials dropped another 329 points, closing at 29,260. The Nasdaq lost 65. The S&P 500 fell 38. And costs continue to rise, creating some difficult decisions for many of us.
Economists have long measured and researched the impact of things like inflation and unemployment on our happiness.
So has our resident happiness expert, UW-Madison professor, Dr. Christine Whelan. Welcome back to the program.
Hi.
Thank you. Good to see you.
What does this inflation, how does it affect our happiness?
Well, as prices rise, we are able to buy less. And when we're able to buy less, we get a little anxious, right? The things that we used to be able to do, we might not be able to do anymore. And you know what humans hate is losing things. So if I used to be able to buy something and I no longer can, I am engaged in something called loss aversion. That's what psychologists call it. We hate losing things and we get really anxious about it. So as prices rise, we get more anxious and less happy.
It is the most helpless feeling in the world because, you know, our salaries are stagnant and costs keep going up and up and up. What is there anything we can do about it? I think that's what increases the stress and unhappiness.
Right, so economists talk about it as potentially a misery index, right? Because it makes us just downright miserable when we feel like we can't do what we want to do. So the first thing to do is you got to face reality, right? Knowledge is power here. Rather than going into debt, figure out what you've got coming in and what the real prices are right now and what you're spending right now. The second thing is, if you do have some extra money and you are able, spend on experiences rather than things. Because, you know, those memories actually last forever. The thing we get bored of pretty fast. And better yet, if you can spend it on experiences with people that you love, then you can build lasting memories and strengthen your relationships. The third thing, though, is to have that conversation not just with yourself about money, but to talk money with your honey and talk about money in relationships. And so I direct the Money, Relationships, and Equality Initiative at UW-Madison, and we have all these free resources for couples and even for roommates, people who are sharing a space around money. And you know, what we're trying to do is help people figure out how to have these conversations that are otherwise kind of ones we try to avoid. So we have free resources on what to do in tough economic times, and people can download them online.
Even if you're not a UW student?
Absolutely. They're for everyone on the Money, Relationships, and Equality website.
Well, how do you talk to your kids about that? They might not, you know, I want that. We've always done this. We've always had that. And now we don't?
Especially with the holidays coming.
Absolutely. So when my kids went to Target with me recently, and I said, think about it this way. Do you want that more than you want your money? And they all said, oh, my goodness, because if I don't have any of my money, then I can't make choices on other things. And so now is a good time to talk to kids about what their values are around spending, and then what your family and shared values are. And actually figure out ways to do things that can build memories without spending a whole lot of money. Because almost all of us are needing to look at our budgets these days.
Generic cornflakes instead of the Frosted Flakes.
I love that question, though. That's a great question. Do you want that thing more than your money?
Yeah. Oh, I ask myself that often these days.
We should all ask ourselves that.
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right. Well,
indeed.
Hopefully better times ahead.
Absolutely.
And what is that website one more time?
more.sohe.wisc.edu. So more.sohe.wisc.edu.
Okay, great.
People can go and download all sorts of free resources.
Great.
That's fantastic.
Good to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you guys.
Well, are you looking for a furry companion? How about a guinea pig or two?
Oh, I love guinea pigs. They're so cute. We'll meet Chap and Mustard. They're our pets of the week, coming up after Julian's First Warn forecast.
With Pick and Save Fresh Perks, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. You also earn fuel points on every purchase to save big at the pump. Pick and Save Fresh Perks. All you do is win big, big savings. Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
Get in gear this fall with 11% off everything at Menards. The pro-quality Masterforce low-profile 3-ton floor jack has dual hydraulic pistons and a lift range of 3 1/8 to 20 inches. Get yours now with 11% off. Finish cleaning up your garage with help from Shop Vac. This 5-gallon stainless steel wet dry vac can tackle the toughest messes, wet or dry. Save 11% on all Shop Vac products. Get 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Don't miss Schuster's Farm Fall Harvest, September 17th through October 31st.
Over 60 activities for all ages. Get lost in the corn maze. Enjoy barnyard animals and hay rides.
Over 14 acres of pumpkins, tasty eats and treats, apple cider donuts, homemade pumpkin cake, caramel apples, craft beer, and wine.
Dare to enter our haunted forest. Schuster's Farm Fall Harvest, just east of Madison and Deerfield. Visit schustersfarm.com for details.
Hypnotize your way to savings.
Breathing techniques to help you save.
Looking to make saving a habit?
Yeah, what's the secret?
No secret. Just open a savings account at BMO and we'll give you a cash reward for every month you save.
A cash reward?
Just for saving?
Mm-hmm. And when you open a checking account, we'll give you a $300 bonus to get your new savings habit started.
Love that.
What's your book?
How to get a $300 bonus and a monthly cash reward for saving with BMO.
He literally wrote the book on saving.
That's me on the cover.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
With the Pick and Save app, no matter where you order free pickup, you get the same great deals as you'd get in our stores. So start your cart today. Whenever, wherever. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Well, take a look at this. You've probably seen those hunky fireman calendars. Well, move over, bulging biceps. The Eubank Volunteer Fire Department in Kentucky has released their latest calendar. The annual publication is sold online to raise money for the department. An organizer says this is what most volunteer firefighters look like. So a little more realistic, I guess.
I love that, actually. I really do. The regular guys.
There they are. Yeah. Guys and girls.
Love the robust.
That is great. Oh, no body shaming there. All right, we're getting a little October-y out there.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. We're going to have some frost on our hands. I know. I do like it, but at the same time, I don't want to use my heat just yet.
Yeah. Throw another dog on the bed.
Yeah. Absolutely, honestly. But, folks, we're going to be talking about some frosty nights ahead with the full forecast coming up after the break.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Gruber Law Offices has been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 30 years. One call, that's all.
Everything seems to be getting more and more expensive these days. And it's the same for your heating bills. Since it will cost more to heat your home this winter, USA Insulation wants to give you control over your utility bills. Our premium injection foam keeps the cold outside and your warm, comfortable air inside, right where it belongs. Call now before winter and get a $500 early bird discount.
USA Insulation.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
How do you use your energy? Inspiring a spark of creativity? Working hard to reach your goals? Thinking outside the box to bring your vision to life? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power, we're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
If you've been injured in a truck crash, call Gruber Law Offices. Trucking law can be extremely complicated. There are specific rules and regulations that apply, and we know what it takes to win. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to start things off with our hurricane watch that we're going to be starting with. So we have a tropical watches and warnings, and this is mainly for into the areas of Florida. We have a hurricane watch for the areas into the pink on your screen and on the western side of the coast. And that's just near the Gulf. That's where we're going to be having that hurricane warning. And for Ian in itself, it has intensified now into a Category 2, which means we're looking at winds which are about 100 miles per hour. But by the time we get into the overnight and into our early Tuesday morning, with this current forecasted track, we are looking for it to hit, just clip past areas of Cuba, and on top of it, we could start to see it intensify into a Category 3 and then a 4 by the time we get into a Wednesday afternoon hours. That's where we're looking at Ian in itself to strengthen into winds being around 140 miles per hour, sustained winds in the gusts being around 165 miles per hour. But take a note, just seeing how vast this is going to be, this is looking to make very significant impacts for areas like Tampa and for Fort Myers, and won't really start to weaken until we get into about Thursday evening into a Category 1 once it starts to make landfall into areas into more central and northern parts of Florida as well. So that's our current track for the Hurricane Ian. But outside of that, let's go ahead and bring things a little bit closer to home. For us, we do have a frost advisory. This is mainly north of the Dells, and that's going to be from 2 a.m. until 9 a.m. for our Tuesday morning, as we're going to be seeing temperatures drop quite significantly thanks to this cold front, which is going to be moving in from northern parts of Wisconsin, and it's going to be bringing temperatures into the mid-30s for some areas. But for us here in Madison, we're going to gradually start to cool down into the lower 50s as we continue throughout the course of the night, and our cloud cover is going to start to clear out once that high pressure system settles into the upper Midwest. We're planning out tonight. It is another chilly one on our hands, folks. We're looking at low 40s for many areas here in southern Wisconsin, and areas just north of the Dells are going to be seeing those 30s once again. So we're going to be seeing those areas in central and northern Wisconsin seeing their first frost moving into our Tuesday morning. Outside of that, get prepared for another cool Tuesday as we're looking at temperatures into the middle and upper 40s for some areas, but for us here in Madison, around 54 degrees is our forecasted high, and 57 for Janesville and for Platteville. Now, walking through what we're going to be expecting for the rest of this evening, the cloud cover is going to start to clear up for us, but those winds, which have been breezy all day, also will start to die down. However, it's still going to be quite cool by the time we get into the overnight hours. As temperatures just north of the Dells are going to be into the 30s, and as you're heading out the door tomorrow morning, it's going to be a chilly one and won't really see too much relief until we get into our Tuesday afternoon, where it's going to warm up just a tad bit. But folks, it won't be too cool for too long, as we're looking at a bit of a warm up into the back end of the work week, just as we get into around our late Wednesday into our Thursday as well. Now, taking a look at our 10-day forecast. Outside of that, plenty of sunshine is in the forecast for us. We are looking at a couple of instances of seeing some morning fog. That's mainly going to be Wednesday and Thursday morning, but sunshine and a bit more pleasant temperatures are on our way as we see those upper 60s heading into the weekend. That's going to do it for weather. Over to you guys.
Thank you. For the first time in history, humans may, this is coming up later.
I can't let it go.
For the first time, humans may deliberately move a natural celestial object in space.
Later tonight, NASA will attempt to slam a spaceship into an asteroid nearly 7 million miles away to nudge it off its course. The DART spacecraft, which is about the size of a vending machine, will be flying 14,000 miles an hour when it slams into a small moon called Dimorphos. Even though there's currently no threat from an asteroid to the planet, NASA is hoping this is just the first of many experiments that will better prepare mankind for unknown threats.
You know, there are thousands of bodies in the solar system, and they haven't spotted all of them. The odds of an asteroid hitting the Earth with devastating impact, they're remote, but the consequences are extreme.
The DART spacecraft will start taking one picture per second when it's 1,000 miles from striking the asteroid.
This is a live look of the official NASA stream. Well, it just started at 4:30. We're not going to be seeing anything for a while, as deep space is a very dark place. DART is expected to make impact at 6:14 p.m.
It's time to introduce you to our pets of the week. And Lisa Bernard from the Dane County Humane Society is here to handle the introductions.
Hi, Lisa.
Welcome to you.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Who do we have here?
So you have Chap. He's an adult guinea pig. And then, Susan, you have Mustard, his son,
look
who
at him.
just turned a month old.
It's his son.
It's his son.
How big is a litter normally?
We've had them between 2 to 3 guinea pigs at a time usually.
And they make great pets.
Yeah, if you're thinking of adopting them, like what do you need? Do you need a...
You need a fairly big size cage for them because these two we're hoping will find a home together.
Okay.
So a fairly big size cage for them to run around in, food dish, water bottle that would hang on the side, and then you can either put bedding or like sheets in the bottom with some hay, and then also hidey houses, which are also known as igloos.
Okay,
so places for them to hide.
So what do they eat?
They eat hay, pellets, leafy greens, and other veggies.
Are they sociable creatures?
They are very social. We use them in our classroom and for education purposes. So our educator will take them around, and they were part of our summer camp.
I love his little white on his head.
I love the little bad hair day. They have like a little tuft of hair on the top.
And they're social creatures.
They are very social, and the more you socialize with them, the more they're going to want to be socialized with you. Every time you walk into the room, they're going to want your attention.
And they live what?
About 5 to 7 years.
That's a good long time.
So that's a responsibility then.
It is a responsibility.
It's not a starter pet by any means.
No.
What if you have other animals, a cat or a dog in the home?
You'd probably want to keep them further away, and
look at that
especially
face.
a cat baby.
Look, are you kidding me? Look at this guy.
So cute.
Mustard.
Oh my! He is so sweet. I don't know if you can hear the little squeaks.
Yeah, they're squeaking a little bit.
They're making those little chirp sounds.
Yeah.
They can squeal like a piggy.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
If they're scared, yes, because they are considered prey animals, so they're very skittish because of that. So that's why they're running around, and they're super fast when they run. Oh my goodness.
All right, and you have a big event coming up?
We do, our Bark and Wine event.
Oh yeah.
October 15th.
That's a big fundraiser for DCHS.
It is a very big fundraiser for us. We are. It's going to be focused a lot on our Wildlife Center, which is celebrating 20 years. So it's the Wildlife Edition. And tickets, it's the last week you can buy tickets. So September 30th is the cutoff, so please get your tickets now so you can attend with us and hang out with these cute little critters as well as puppies and kittens.
If you can pry Mustard out of my hands.
So bark and whine and chirp and cheep and whine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So giveshelter.org for information on these. And last time we had 2 kittens.
We did, and they've been adopted.
Oh, that's wonderful. Remember those 2? Mine was a handful.
How could you? Yeah, mine wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm glad they got adopted.
Oh, I am too.
All right, let's get Chap and Mustard. New homes for them.
Yeah.
Giveshelter.org. Lisa, thank you.
Lisa, thank you so much.
you.
Great to see you.
Great seeing
Do
you.
I have to give them up now? I guess I do.
Coming up next on Live at 4, we'll meet a profane botanist with Albergini Mose.
And then coming up next hour at 5, gas prices have been spiking again ever since Saturday. What is the cause and when will it get better? Reporter Andrew Banstra will tell us coming up next hour at 5.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home. So we applied it to his under eye bags. And let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view. And now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm. Please send me more. And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
At our $14.95 price, it's the best way to try Plexiderm and see it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
New at 5, a new solution for mental health crisis. A stabilization center in Ripon has been unveiled. News 3 Now shares how this unique clinic can provide exceptional services.
Little rain is expected over the next week and a half, and we should see plenty of sunshine. But clear skies at night could lead to some areas of frost and early morning fog for at least the next couple of nights. I'll let you know how cold it'll get at 5.
And ahead at 6, meeting the basic budget needs has become difficult for Dane County schools. We investigate how referendums may be the solution tonight at 6.
Giving the weather satellite a spin, we end up in Marco Island, Florida.
Well, we're thinking of all of our friends and family who live on the Gulf Coast.
It's already raining there. It's 81 degrees, but it's going to get a lot worse. Well, a self-taught botanist is winning over fans with his salty language.
His latest bout was inspired by a giant 2,000-year-old tree.
Here's Jeannie Mose.
Joey Santor swears by this giant ancient tree.
This is a beast.
We mean he literally swears by it.
That this is a big, wonderful organism right here.
Joey combines botany and profanity.
A big, beautiful. I tend to curse a little bit. You guys can bleep it out, maybe.
Oh, yes, we can, Joey.
It's a wonderful beast.
This beast happens to be Mexico's oldest tree, maybe 2,000 years old. It's said to be the widest in the world.
Look at that, though.
Joey's sense of wonder in this and his 450 or so other videos shines through, even when he's not cursing.
The things that this thing has seen, what could this tree tell us about our own primate species if it could talk?
But if the tree could talk, would it be describing things the way this self-taught botanist from Chicago does?
Let's say visual orgasm. How's that?
Your whole delivery is sort of what?
I don't know. Chicago mook? Chicago slob? It's just kind of like a no-filter approach to communicating science, as they say.
He calls his enterprise Crime Pays But Botany Doesn't and sells merchandise that says,
everybody's got to go out there and kill your lawn.
Because Joey says lawns are unnatural and wasteful, but a tree like this?
Can you believe it's like a cathedral? Nature's the ultimate masterpiece.
Does anyone object to your kind of earthy language?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally. I don't do this to be liked. I do this because I'm excited and I want to share it.
And he has skin in the game. His.
A Calocortis lily, Arctostaphylos, manzanita on my hand. I got radiolarians. That's a single cell. This isn't even a plant. It's a single-celled plankton. Encelia, which is a genus of desert sunflower. Plants you can't really go wrong.
This is a guy who loves to mix.
But Taxodium mucrodeum does grow very fast.
18-letter Latin terms with 4-letter words.
I mean, look at how that thing's, it's incredible.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
I have to check out his website.
It does make you pay attention, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Well, are you a fan of psychological thrillers? Then you might want to head to a movie theater near you.
When we come back, film critic Will Loper tells us what he thinks of Don't Worry, Darling. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Of course, you know the A Grace name. They care every step of the way, and there's a new program right here at A Grace's Adult Day Center. Marcia, tell us a little bit about this program and why the need for it.
So we were seeing on a regular basis that there were people in our community who, especially after COVID, were isolated, definitely seniors that were feeling like they just didn't have the social outlet that they wanted to have. And so we spent about 1.5 years or 2 years really digging deep and doing our research to see if there was a local need here, because we didn't want to duplicate efforts, and we found that there was. So about 1 year ago, we opened up the A Grace Adult Day Center, and it's been a wonderful opportunity to serve people who are in need not only of the social ability, but also it gives the caregiver a break to get out and do some things and take care of themselves.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about A Grace's Adult Day Center and what takes place right here?
Yeah, so A Grace Adult Day Center is for people who have some cognitive issues, dementia, Alzheimer's specifically. So we offer activities here. So like right now they're playing golf, and then we also have like beanbag tossing, they play basketball, air hockey, different things like that here that we have at the day center. And then we also have meals. So we serve breakfast, lunch, and a snack. And then we have physical exercises, more like chair yoga that we can do in the morning and in the afternoon. Time for relaxation here as well. We have caregivers to help on staff with activities of daily living. And we can also pass meds here, and we give showers.
Come and see how A Grace is caring every step of the way right here at the Adult Day Center. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison. I'm heading back to yoga. It was so relaxed.
I worked on the force for 30 years. I've seen plenty of politicians, but Mandela, he's the real deal. Mandela doesn't want to defund the police. He's very supportive of law enforcement, and I know his objective is to make every community in the state of Wisconsin better. I trust him to get the resources that we need to keep people safe and to reduce crime in the first place. As a retired cop, I want someone like Mandela. Mandela is the right guy for the job.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Well, if you're curious if things had changed dramatically over the past 30 minutes or so, well, they have not in terms of our traffic. Still rather smooth along the Beltline and for our interstates. However, some of our residential roads are a bit on the slower side, but that's kind of what we are expecting for our 4 p.m. commute, especially if you're in downtown or near the Shorewood Hills area. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the interstates. North and southbound, smooth as butter as we're getting into the rest of our 4 p.m. commute. Starting to transition into our 5 p.m. commute for us. But if you're wondering if you need to head on and if it was going to be too trafficy, no, it's not a lot of traffic for us as of right now. But as we take a look at our Janesville to Beltline, it's going to take our normal time, around 25 minutes, and Sauk City to Middleton, around 16 minutes, with Sun Prairie to downtown, around 18 minutes. So overall, things are pretty smooth and also rather normal around this time of day. And that's going to do it for our traffic update. Let's go ahead and send it to you guys.
All right, Julian, we have an update on that Betty White auction we told you about that was held over the weekend. The 3-day auction of the late actress's belongings and show business memorabilia raised more than $4 million, exceeding the original estimate of $400,000. 10 times the amount. All the money goes to a children's charity. She's a popular lady.
Yeah, you knew that was going to happen. Yeah. Those are priceless items.
Well, there's a new #1 movie at the box office.
Film critic Will Loper has the numbers and the reviews in the Loper Report.
Hey, Merkin Susan. The psychological thriller Don't Worry, Darling opened to #1 with a decent $19 million. However, probably the best part of this movie coming out is we hopefully don't have to hear any more about its behind-the-scenes drama.
Frank has built something truly special. What he's created out here, it's a different way. A better way.
Florence Pugh and Harry Styles of One Direction fame stars a couple who move into a neighborhood that seems perfect at first, but it soon becomes clear something else is going on.
The one thing they ask of us is to stay here, where it's safe.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
What are we doing?
Changing the world.
They're lying about everything.
Florence Pugh is fantastic as always, and Harry Styles is, well, fine, but out of his depth. And the movie itself is fine as well. You don't need to rush to see it, but if sinister 1950s suburbia movies interest you, catch it sometime on streaming. Speaking of streaming services, newly streaming on Netflix is the film Lou.
I have to track him. Stay here. Hey, where are you going? To find my child. If you slow me down, I will leave you behind.
Ailsa Janney stars as Lou, going the route of Liam Neeson, where she gets to kick some bad guy butt.
Where is he taking her?
Newly streaming on Disney Plus is the nature series Supernatural.
Nothing is what it seems. There are creatures all around us that appear ordinary, but possess superpowers we are only beginning to understand.
Benedict Cumberbatch narrates the show that takes a look at the extraordinary capabilities of certain animals.
Welcome to a realm beyond human perception, where the impossible is possible.
And speaking of nature, check out Chefs vs. Wild, streaming on Hulu.
To prepare world-class food in the wild.
Every second counts and we get one shot.
Each episode, 2 chefs get dropped into the wilderness and have to forage wild ingredients to make an amazing dish.
Mushrooms are one of those things that you do not want to take any risk with.
I'm definitely not opposed to using bugs. Look at that guy.
The dish I would probably end up serving would be a dirt and leaf sandwich. For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper.
Dude, your lip is getting, like, swollen.
That looks really interesting.
Great premise.
Yeah, that and the nature show.
He ate something he shouldn't have eaten.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, lots to watch. We'll be right back with the final check of your forecast.
Fall in love with a stylish and quality dining room set this fall, like my Montana Dining Collection. Get the table with 6 chairs, only $9.99, or table, 4 chairs, and storage bench, still only $9.99, with financing options to fit your budget.
Big Boss Discount!
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Daryl Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our community safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you think you have Dupuytren's contracture, there's a simple test you can take from anywhere. Try to lay your hand flat against the surface. If you can't, you may have Dupuytren's contracture. Talk to a hand specialist about your options, including non-surgical treatments.
My husband said to give our house more curb appeal, so I started painting. Then I went on Google and looked up the meaning of curb appeal. It said to make it more nicer. So I called Replacement Window Center, and they put in new replacement windows.
Get free installation and 0% financing for 18 months. Free installation and 0% financing. Hurry, call now.
Replacement Window Center. Our name says it all.
Mirror, mirror on my 5-piece Tremont bedroom set. Only $9.99. Dresser and mirror, chest, queen bed, even a nightstand. At Bob's Discount Furniture, you get the quality and value you deserve. Even if you like talking to yourself in the mirror.
Big Boss Discount!
The first ever Wisconsin Mental Health Day Stabilization Center has opened. News 3 now explores how this short-term option will aid more people. Then another refinery explosion sent gas prices skyrocketing again. We give you your expected cost outlook coming up at 5.
News 3 Now Sports brings you the Badger Blueprint. Join us every week for an exclusive look at Wisconsin football. From the practice field to the locker room to game day previews and highlights. Badger Blueprint, Wednesdays only on News 3 Now at 10.
And a final check of our weather. We're going to end things with the 3 things you'll need to know. Going throughout the course of this week, folks, we're going to be looking at some chilly nights ahead, which will start to be bringing in some potential frost for some areas. Starting for tonight, it'll be for areas in the central and northern parts of Wisconsin. And then for us, well, we're going to be on the lookouts for areas of frost going into our Tuesday nights and our Wednesday nights as well. Outside of that, it's going to be a dry week ahead, but we'll start to see some improvements by the time we head into the weekend, which is always great news for us. Over to you guys.
Dry weekend, not sure what we do about that. Tomorrow here on Live Before UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff has the latest COVID news and a warning about the upcoming flu season.
And we talk with former White House photographer Pete Souza about his new book. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
It changes your entire world. I know because I was a victim myself. So to think there are people like Senator Ron Johnson in Washington who'd make it harder. Ron Johnson supported the Supreme Court's decision outlawing abortion in Wisconsin, even for victims of rape and incest, allowing doctors and nurses to be prosecuted. When I think about other victims and what they're going to have to go through because of Ron Johnson, he doesn't share our values. S&P is responsible for the content of this ad.
There's just something about a place where people still know your name, who know how you take your coffee. At Capital Bank, we love all the things our bankers do that digital banking can't. Like congratulate you on your first home, help you finance that perfect vacation home, collaborate about your business goals, and personally explain financing details. Capital Bank offers convenient mobile banking for your day-to-day. But what truly sets us apart is our ability to show up for those unique moments when nothing can replace your Capital banker. Capital Bank, tailored service, experienced bankers, locally invested.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
In today's Final Touch, have you ever wondered when you developed a taste for certain foods?
And disgust for others? According to a new study published in the journal Psychological Science, your taste buds could develop before you're even born. Scientists at Durham University in the UK gave 100 pregnant women with a carrot pill, a kale pill, and a plain pill, and then took an image of their fetuses 20 minutes later. It may come as no surprise that the sweet carrot flavor got more smiles than the bitter kale got big frowns. Researchers are hoping to learn if tweaking a pregnant woman's diet
That's great.
could help promote healthy eating habits later in life for children.
Isn't that fascinating?
It is fascinating.
Wow.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.